Hey, what's going on, Capricorn? It's Antenna Oracle here doing a horoscope reading for you for the second half of April. So around the 15th all the way through the end of the month here. I used to do previous tarot readings for twin flames. I've switched over to just doing horoscope and zodiac sign readings and energy updates for them. With that being said, I do 4 rows of cards, and I do not have any private readings currently available. I will potentially open that up here at the end of the week or so. If you're absolutely interested and need to get one from me while I'm still kind of getting this channel set up, as it is a new channel, leave a comment on the thing and we'll see if we can work something out. With that being said, Capricorn, I've already pre-shuffled, pre-prayed. I do not read reversals, and I'm trying to kind of keep these videos shorter. The first few I made were about a half hour long. I'm going to try and keep yours somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes here, okay? I don't feel like it really cuts into the message. However, if you were to get like a private reading for in the future or something like that, it would be a bit lengthier, and I go kind of more in detail for you. So with that being said, I'm just going to kind of lay out some of the cards here so we can go through it, so I can not spend so much time essentially reading multiple messages at the same time for you, and kind of break it down just quickly for you and give you kind of a clear-cut direction and what's going to either be going on or the guidance that you should receive for the upcoming end of this like next 2 week cycle, right? Which should be interesting because we have a full moon coming in that period as well. So this is the first 2 here. Okay, Capricorn. So ending energy is the 6 of Swords and the 6 of Cups. So basically this is going to probably be a love reading here for you, and it's going to have a little bit of details as far as what to do, where to go. It starts off kind of talking about your current home life and that family situation needing to come to a close, or that things are going to be changing in that dynamic. Because we have the 10 of Cups represented with the Death card here. And the way that reads to me really is a lot about something in the home life needing to change, needing to die so that there can be rebirth. Whether that means rebirth with whomever is in the current home life or not, I think that's going to be kind of up to you in your current situation. We'll see more as we proceed forward. It looks like the universe has an offer here, but in order to accept the offer coming through, you're going to have to cut something away so you can have a passionate new beginning. And the way you're going to be able to know what to cut away is by kind of using your previous life lessons and going through that with Temperance here. Temperance is an angel that shows up when you need to rebalance your spirituality and really apply the spiritual lessons that have been taught to you through your past in order to proceed forward. To me, I'm really being drawn to the 2 of Cups here and this Temperance card. And there we go, we're on screen. Cool. You can see that there's water flowing from one cup to the other. But the big representation here is the 2 of Cups. So there may be some past soulmate energy, and this may be the offer that is coming to you, Capricorn. You may have in the past either denied it, rejected it, or something like that. But it's talking about coming back into that state of being aware of, you know, that energy. For whatever reason, if you were pulled apart or you weren't ready for the connection or you didn't grow, it talks about you needing to come back and apply the lessons that you were supposed to learn so that you could have this soulmate energy coming through. We have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands talking about, you know, cutting away something from the past so that you can have clarity in mindset, so that you can start a passionate new beginning here. We have the 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords here. This talks about needing to find balance 3-dimensionally. And the way you find balance is by leaving the situation that you're currently in. It looks like this is something that's probably been on your mind for a while now, Capricorn, as we do have quite a bit of Swords showing up here. So this is obviously something very mental for you, and we do have a double 6 of Swords showing up here in your energies. So this is actually a pretty important message, talking about you leaving something from the past, leaving behind something that was turbulent and not working for you. And it was really keeping you out of balance. And in order to find your balance and be able to proceed forward with any of this, you've got to walk away. You've got to pack your stuff up and go. Head out the door and find your new balance, because to me this says that the home life wasn't balanced. Otherwise, why would it end? Why would you have something that looks like this end, happy times, family, all the way around, but it's matched up with a death card? Why would this need to end if it wasn't balanced? So there's obviously been a lack of balance somewhere in the home life. Whether that be relationships or actually inside of a family dynamic or whatever. But it's time for this to die and move on for you. You're going to have to face a battle here for it. And it looks like this is probably going to be a battle from a counterpart, whomever you may be with, may be pretty resistant to this change. However, they are showing up as the Ace of Swords, so it doesn't look like they probably have a ton of emotion still left in this fight. This may be just one of those things where it's like almost the battle's on repeat for you, if that makes sense. And there's not a lot of emotion left driving this. It's just something that has been playing out, and maybe you've tried to leave in the past or something like that, Capricorn, and been talked to staying. But this person that continuously talks to you about staying in this relationship is kind of just running out of steam themselves, and it's not even like their heart's really in it whether or not you stay anymore. They're almost just this point where it's like, I'm just saying this because I think it's logical and it makes sense. I'm not really even all that emotionally invested whether you go or not. I'm just kind of putting on a show for you in order to try and keep you, because it seems like the most logical choice for me to keep you in my life right now. So just be aware of that. Ending energy, Six of Swords, Six of Cups. Six of Cups obviously being the representation of either past, some sort of past connection that you may be seeking, and or that you are chasing after old soulmate energy, something along the lines of that. Or you may just be trying to go back to an old feeling for yourself, something that you felt more comfortable, that had more emotion for you, that is just a bit more fulfilling than whatever this situation may have been. Obviously, take what resonates, guys, and leave the rest behind. If it doesn't mesh, if it doesn't fit, then don't try and jam it into place. We're gonna do 2 rows here, and I will give you your finished reading here. I've noticed that if I kind of just deal all the cards here versus pulling them individually, reading them all for you, while it does come out as a lot more of an in-depth message, and I can definitely get more of a feeling out of it, it does take quite a bit longer if I do it that way. So if you guys are interested in the future in having me do a bit longer videos, I may do that. I may try and bust out two or three different signs each day for like the beginning of the month or something like that, and do like a mid-month, and then do these as like a mid-monthly and catch you back up on kind of what's playing out for you. So if you're interested in something like that, or would like to see me do the channel progress in that way, please leave a comment and let me know what's going on, okay? Okay, and ending energy, 9 of Swords, of course. Okay, so your ending energies here are the Moon and the 9 of Swords. This talks about you maybe going through a place of pretty dark, like a pretty dark place in your current state right now. A lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. You may actually physically be losing sleep over the matter. Your health, to me, actually may even be deteriorating to a certain point, just due to the anxiety. This is some pretty heavy stuff, and it's probably been weighing you down for a good amount of time now. This looks like something that's been carrying on for a while. With this being said, obviously, we have the 8 of Cups to come underneath the Death card, and then we have the 6 of Wands here. This talks about you being successful and being able to move away from a situation in the home life that you knew wasn't fulfilling. So if there was any question if it's a death and rebirth and into the whole maybe something just needs to change in the family situation, no, that's not it. You need to actually physically leave the situation. Whether that means that your partner needs to leave, or you need to relocate out of the family situation or roommate situation, what have you. But this talks about really leaving something that's emotionally unfulfilling. And the Six of Wands here talks about you being successful at doing it, as long as you just start to proceed forward and just don't worry about what's going on. You're going to have to stand your ground here. I can already see that with the Seven of Wands over here. But the Knight of Wands with the Ace of Wands talks about somebody coming in, or maybe you needing to come in pretty quickly as this happens here. Either way, there's going to have to be a conversation, I believe, with somebody from the past. Whether they come to you or you come to them, I think is going to depend on the dynamic and how either you have separated from this person or what have you. Whether or not you're still in contact, so on. But this looks like something that can change pretty quickly here for you, Capricorn. Like something sudden comes in, and it's a passionate new start. With this here, you have victory over basically cutting it away. Your new start comes. You have more victory showing up here. So not only do you have victory leaving a situation, you have victory starting something new. And it comes through the idea of you sharing your ideas with whomever this other person is. To me, Capricorn, it looks like you're kind of bailing ship. You've been wanting to do it for a while, and now is just the time to finally do it. Jump through the hoop, go for the ride, and basically do it, because it looks like you've had somebody else on your mind here for a while, because this other situation has just not been what you thought you'd signed up for. With that being said, it is going to come at some cost. You are going to have to feel like you're left out in the cold here for a little bit. You're going to have to go through that situation, but ultimately, this isn't the worst thing that's going to happen here. As you can see, that you're actually being depicted here as still being out in the cold, but you actually have all your belongings. You have the ability to make a choice and start over with something else. So you're not losing all. You're just losing what you had that didn't even work for you in the first place. So you're really not losing much, if anything, because what you have currently, you don't even really want. So with that just means you have to actually stand your ground. When the time comes, when you're facing the opposition here and going through the regular battle, instead of, being weak and torn down by this other person that's just kind of used to having these conversations at this point, because it feels like there's just been a lot of this energy of up and down and up and down and up and down kind of thing. This really talks about you just being able to move away and just be like, you know what, no, I'm just done with it. Like, we've had this conversation so many times. I don't even want to entertain the idea of this working out. If it was going to work out, it would have worked out 6 times ago. Here we are 6 times later, and we're still having this conversation. I'm sorry, I'm done, but drop the mic, move on. So, with that here, we have the closing of a karmic chapter in the world, and then we have your harvest being ready. So really, it's just you having to go through the process of kind of the painful stuff, and once you do, I think you're going to have some clarity on your entire situation. Yeah, look at this. I accidentally drew 2 cards here, Capricorn, just to see what would come up on the bottom here. We have the 6 of Swords showing up again. 3 6s of Swords. Wheel of Fortune right here. It's time for a new change. It's time for you to leave. So, I hope that's been helpful, Capricorn. Best of luck to you. I'm sure it's a lot easier said than done, but if you've been seeking guidance, here's your guidance.